Hold on. Hi, everybody. It's Coffee and Politics Online with Sydney Walker, and I'm actually joined here today by the intern. Team Dog for Mayor sends her sentiments on the Eco Development Committee meeting that I attended today and spoke before some of the council members that were present. It was an interesting meeting, I will say. Lots of people there in support of saving City Hall. But one of the reoccurring messaging and theme, I do want to talk about that, was there's still a lot of unanswered questions with regards to this process, the full financial ramifications of moving, full financial ramifications of rehabbing City Hall, full ramifications of the potential for development around City Hall, be it the city stays, the City Hall is reimagined and repurposed into something else, or the property is just flat out sold. Now, one thing that I found was very odd during this discussion and after the public speaking comments were over, that it seemed that some of the council members that were very much pro get rid of City Hall seem to be backtracking. Now they're saying that we don't have to move as quickly. We need to be very thorough in getting all of the information. One point that continues to be brought up is the asbestos and how to abate it, and not having city staff in the building when it is abated. I'm not quite sure if people understand that even if the building is demolished, you're still going to have to abate the asbestos in either scenario. So we don't get out of abating the asbestos that's in the building, because if you don't abate it before it's demolished, then you're sending out fibers, asbestos fibers, into the greater city area, and they will blow downwind. And I will tell you, in 10 to 20 years, we'll end up having lung cancer because of it, if this should go through. Now, supposedly, the Mavericks have not made an offer. There are no plans on what they would like to do with the City Hall property. No one has provided any renderings, ideas, or anything that would give the city reason to want to sell the building. Although it has been in the media that the Mavericks are only looking at two places, Valley View and City Hall. And I got wind that City Hall is just a ruse. They want City Hall. They do not want to go to Valley View. Although Valley View would be great because, one, it's a huge site that can handle a stadium, parking, and also casino endeavors. So there are plenty of hotels, plenty of freeway access. You have the tollway, you have 35, you have 75, and LBJ all right there. And the majority of the people that are coming to the Mavericks games are coming from the northern suburbs. So great economic impact that could be given to an area that has a TIF that the southern portions of Dallas city council districts could receive financial benefits from said TIF. And I was also told that Redbird would get 10% of that TIF money if the stadium was put at Valley View. Now, Peter Brodsky was present for this meeting, and I asked him, where did he stand on this? Because, you know, he had on a blue shirt. Quite a few people had on blue shirts, even at City Hall. The city council members had on blue shirts. He said that he was team redevelop it. And I made the point to him that it is financially irresponsible to consider this endeavor. We're trying to sell it, go through this exercise, because financially the city is not in a position to be spending more money unnecessarily. Because as the points I made during my open mic time that I became very emotional during, is that the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for yet again another stadium. We did reunion. And then in 20-25 years, when the Mavericks are tired of this stadium, because we did reunion, we did the AAC, and then we would pay for this one, then they will come back in another 20-25 years saying, hey, we want a new stadium. Meanwhile, City of Dallas is paying for rent. Oh, the intern is very heated. I don't think that she likes the fact that the City of Dallas will end up having to pay rent. Taxpayers will end up having to pay rent for the city services that are in City Hall to be somewhere else. And just to let you know, downtown rent goes for $20 to $30, sometimes more than that, per square foot. So we will end up paying rent for 20-25 years by selling our house, because maintenance kept being deferred by current council and councils of the past. And as I stated, we trusted them to be stewards of the taxpayers' money. And no one has been stewards of councils and the taxpayers' money. Remember that. We have had city councils, city staff, city managers not put the most effort in protecting the property taxpayers of the city of Dallas. And I'm not even talking about commercially, because we know how many abatements councils have given companies to be inside the city limits. I'm talking about the homeowners being stressed out. Where is this money going to come from? Because you can't defund the police. We'll get sued if we don't get 4,000 officers and get their pay up. So, where is rent going to come from? What line items are going to disappear so we can pay rent for the next 20 to 25 years? Oh, and something else. So back to that TIF and that 10% that would go to Redbird. So the finance committee said that Kim Tolbert, the city manager, is tasked with finding a new location immediately for the Office of Emergency Management, OEM, 311 and 911. And I've been teased about, where it will go. So I have gotten word that, the new city hall is going to be moved into the Uber building, 2550 Pacific. I made a video saying they're going to move into the AT&T building once they move to Plano. And there was even discussions of the city moving into the Bank of America tower. Sir OEM 311 and 911 is going to move to Redbird. So he must stand to profit more than the 10% that would be gained by the Mavericks moving to Valley View. Peter Brodsky wants to be mayor of Dallas. Chad West wants to be mayor of Dallas. I've even been told Kim Talbert wants to be mayor of Dallas. But here's the kicker. I got to confirm that the Mavericks have told her that she has a job with them when she's done with the city. I'm sure Maxie wants to be mayor. I'm not sure about Zarin. But he could possibly want to be mayor. Ms. Blair, too soon to tell. I don't know what her political aspirations are. And Councilwoman, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Willis, will more than likely want to run for mayor. And if I'm incorrect on any of these call outs, okay. I'm not correct on them, but I'm correct on some of them. So the tour that I went on, it was said that, for those that have mayoral aspirations, you giving up the city's house is going to be a bad look to run for office. And so I've spoken to a couple of other people about, sell City Hall, sell it. It has this $1 billion price tag on it. It's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what other city-owned property has $1 billion worth of repairs that need to be done to it and deferred maintenance that has accumulated over the past 30 years? And we gave a private company and a nonprofit the contract with two 5-year renewals. And we had to get rid of the private company. And now it's just a nonprofit. Fair Park, for those that may not know. So if we're going to sell city assets so we can reinvest, put that money into the fire and police pension to pay that debt down, maybe by selling both, we could actually get the police their new academy. But nobody is talking about that. Because people's heads would explode if we said, let's sell Fair Park. Let's reimagine it. That is how many acres that could be made into a huge economic engine for South Dallas, part of East Dallas. You wouldn't even recognize South Dallas again if that happened. But we're not doing studies for that. We're not looking at the economic impact of selling Fair Park. And we're going through this exercise for City Hall when nobody supposedly has made an offer. And here's the thing. What kind of offer would they make? Saying that you have the price tag so high and making it sound like the building is crumbling, you're going to get bottom dollar for it because it's too expensive to reimagining the building, to repurpose it, to re-outfit it. And what would the demolition cost be? Because if I'm a buyer and I'm going to demolish it, that's going to be a bargaining chip for me to take more off that price tag of what I'm willing to pay for it. So what have the overlords promised? That now the Economic Development Committee kind of started backtracking today. And now it's just city staff was pushing this. So a lot to think about. We have a city council meeting on Wednesday. People need to sign up to speak. You need to tell them how to spend your dollars appropriately. People are talking about, again, the police pay up, pay our officers with what? Especially if we're paying anywhere between $7 to $10 million a month in rent. And let's just say we got $300 million for City Hall. That'll be spent in 3 to 5 years on rent. Still no police academy. I'm sure then we'll have to start tightening up our belt even more. So that means homeless services probably will disappear. Definitely going to have layoffs. You're going to be down to a skeleton crew. Maybe it is a benefit because there will be less to rent. Such a joke. And we have had such fiscal irresponsibility. And that was part of why I was so passionate and angry with council. Because the taxpayers, the residents of Dallas, are being betrayed. And whatever economic impact a stadium and casino could bring, we have the AAC. Put the casino on the parking lot. Make everybody take the train and the bus in. Pardon me. Have Dart develop a special shuttle for concerts and games. So people don't have to deal with the crime on Dart. You bypass all of that. We already have an entertainment district. And the stars are being courted by a whole nother city. We have the potential to be a great city, but we are unfortunately the laughingstock of all the major cities. And as I pointed out today, Detroit is the only major city that has torn down their city hall and put city services and other properties that they own. And do understand that financially we will have to rehab those buildings to make them move in ready. That doesn't come with a zero cost. So, city manager has a job offer from the Mavericks. OEM 311 and 911 is going to move to Redbird. And TIF money, a TOD, that could be done very right, is taking money off the table for the districts that are south of 30 who need it, desperately need it. 5, 7, 3, 8, part of 6. I'm leaving 1 out. I'm sure there are parts of District 1 that could use the economic development. But that is in District 1 is not seen as a non-affluent area. So we have some council members that cut off their nose to spite their face. And all I can say is November is around the corner of 2027. So make your voice heard Wednesday at the city council meeting. Come and speak up and speak out. They're listening. And information is getting leaked. So this is unfortunate that the taxpayers are being treated as if we are a never-ending pot of money. All right, guys. Wednesday, we'll see you at City Hall.